So today we will read a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, 6th chapter, verse 24. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. The one in which the intelligence is fixed on me does not know separation from me. The one who contemplates always on me can, by grace, by my grace, can remember the proper memory of my own person, even after destruction of the body. Commentary. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur quotes the Lord. Because your attachment for me is caused because of love of God, it cannot disappear. Because I am eternal. The remembering of my person is always eternal. The practice of devotional service gives eternal fruits. It cannot never be destroyed. It accumulates life after life, and in due time it gives the results in devotional service. So a devotee becomes qualified to become an eternal associate of the Lord. It is a verse that is extremely deep and important, where the Lord explains the nature of His devotional service. He is not like, it is not like a pious activity, like a temporary pious activity, in the sense that it is not connected with this material world. Pious activity, when it is accomplished in order to obtain a certain fruit, can allow someone to attain paradise and to enjoy, to have the higher material enjoyment. But it stays something temporary. The Lord explains that the destination of these people is only for an instant, according to the accumulation of the fruits of their activities. Once these fruits are consumed, they come back to get born on this earth. But devotional service is of a different nature. Why? What is the difference between pious activity and devotional service? It's that devotional service is accomplished for only one thing. It's for his satisfaction. When someone inside himself thinks, I am his devotee, I exist only solely for him, then the activity that you do, it nourishes a relationship with the Lord. Krishna himself in the Bhagavad Gita explains that simply Bhaktyamam Abhijanati, simply pure devotion can allow to attain him. As soon as we enter into this consciousness
qu'on appelle la
that
conscience
we call
expression,
Krishna consciousness,
Krishna Chaitanya,
Krishna Chaitanya,
à ce moment-là,
then
on peut,
we can
sentir
feel
la présence du Seigneur dans notre cœur.
the presence of the Lord in our heart constantly.
Jamais Krishna
Never
ne
Krishna
reste un dévot
lives as
qui
devotee,
ne vit que pour lui.
that lives on solely for him, that thinks only about
Et
him.
de la même manière,
And in the
avec
same
laquelle
way,
intensité le dévot
according to the intensity that the devotee
s'occuper du
wants
Seigneur,
to take care
le
of the
Seigneur
Lord,
s'occupe de son
the
dévot.
Lord takes care of his devotee.
C'est pour ça que Krishna, dans
This
la
is why Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, Yatamam Prapadyante, he reciprocates.
Si quelqu'un pense Krishna est mon ami,
If someone thinks Krishna is my
Krishna
friend,
devient son ami.
Krishna becomes his friend.
Il enlève sa divinité
He takes out his
pour
divinity
devenir simplement
to become
l'objet d'amour de
simply
son dévot.
the object of love of his devotee. It goes to that point.
Et le dévot, alors, il voit plus le
And
Seigneur, il
the
voit son ami.
devotee, he does not see the Lord, he sees his friend.
Complètement amoureux.
And he becomes completely in love, he falls in love.
C'est pourquoi,
This is why,
à un moment,
at one point,
la conception de la divinité,
the conception of divinity leaves.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur, dans
Bhaktivinoda
Chaitanya
Thakur, in the
Charitamrita,
Chaitanya
il écrit,
Shikshamrita, he explains,
quand le mot Dieu disparaît,
when the word
et que le
God
mot Krishna
disappears
apparaît,
and the
alors la
word Krishna
divinité s'en va.
appears, so the divinity
C'est à ce moment-là que le
leaves.
pur amour existe.
This is
Avant,
then that the
l'amour
pure
est
love
tainté de
exists.
révérence.
Before, love is tainted, is mixed
Alors,
with
est-ce que c'est
awe
une
and
bonne
reverence.
chose?
Is
Est-ce
it
que
a
c'est une bonne
bad thing
chose?
or a good thing?
Pour un religieux, c'est une bonne chose.
For a religious person, it's a good
Parce que
thing,
celui qui est religieux,
because
il
the
doit
one who
avoir
is
peur.
religious,
Il
he
doit
needs
avoir
to
peur
be
et
afraid,
il
because
va
when he
faire
is
comme
afraid,
ça,
he
j'ai
acts
pas
well.
intérêt à le faire. Je vais me faire châtier, j'ai pas intérêt à le
I'll
faire.
be chastised, I should
Pour
not
lui,
do
c'est bon.
this. For him, it's good.
Mais pour un Vaishnava
But for a Vaishnava,
qualifié,
a qualified Vaishnava,
alors ça retient sa dévotion.
it
C'est pourquoi
constricts,
Nishingadev lui-même a
it
dit à
keeps
Prahlad,
his
dans la
devotion from
introduction du
growing.
Bhagavatam,
That's why Prahlad Maharaj,
que sa
he says
dévotion teintée de
in the Bhagavatam
révérence
that devotion mixed with reverence
était comme un
is
frein.
just like a break.
On voit par exemple quand Krishna se
We
révèle
see,
à
for
Arjuna
example,
dans
when
sa
Krishna
forme
reveals
originelle,
himself to
qu'est-ce
Arjuna
qu'il fait
in his
Arjuna? Non,
universal form, what does Arjuna do?
c'est pas qu'il
He
blague avec
trembles.
Krishna.
It's not that he jokes
Il
around
réalise
with Krishna.
simplement qu'il est Dieu en
He realizes that Krishna is
et
simply
leur
God.
relation d'amitié, elle prend
So
fin.
the
C'est pourquoi,
relationship of
pendant que Krishna enlève sa divinité,
the friendliness goes
et que
away
par
unless
le
Krishna
biais de son énergie interne,
takes away his
il se
divinity,
plonge
and through the
en
energy of
relation
his
avec son dévot, qui
this
plonge
energy
son
of love,
dévot
he
dans un
delves
état
with his
pur,
devotee
il
and
n'y
he
a pas
brings his
possibilité
devotee
d'amour.
with that pure love. Then there's no possibility
Vishwanath
of that pure love.
Chakravarti
Vishwanath
explique une
Chakravarti
chose
Thakur
très
explains one
intéressante.
thing that is very interesting.
Pourquoi on cite Vishwanath?
Why do we quote
Parce
Vishwanath?
que même Prabhupada, 50% de ses
Because
commentaires,
50%
70%
of
c'est
Srila
Vishwanath.
Prabhupada's commentaries are from Vishwanath Chakravarti
Il cite pas
Thakur.
tout le temps, mais moi qui fais le commentaire du Bhagavatam, je
Prabhupada
compare.
does not quote all the time, but since I'm doing a commentary on Bhagavata, I can see that Prabhupada, he has two options. He takes the same commentary from Vishwanath, or he says it from his own words. All the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they follow Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Everyone accepts Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He came especially for this. Even some even say that Rupa Goswami came back as Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. That's why we call it Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He is everyone's guru. We have many gurus, and by quoting our spiritual master, we obtain the favor of the Supreme Lord. We should never invent things. Of course, there are Vaishnavas who have this qualification to reveal things, but it's rare. It is in a precise circumstance when some elements are lacking, are missing, in order for people to progress and attain the supreme destination. But in this verse, Krishna, Narada Muni explains that the reality of devotional service. The Lord explains that His devotional service is eternal. It is not material. This is why we engage ourselves in His devotional service. Gradually, our eternity appears, but pious activity nourishes the false conception, what we developed in contact with the influence of the three modes of material nature. Gradually, this devotional service will destroy everything, all the false conceptions, all the attachments. Without this, we will not be able to become pure devotees. And if someone does not attain perfection in one life, then the Lord places him, make him appear in a family, in an environment that is more favorable, so that he may go beyond his imperfections, his weaknesses. He comes back at the same level, but in a favorable environment, and he can receive then an association with the pure devotees and progress more. But nothing is lost in devotional service. Even the smallest spiritual advancement that you do stays. Simply, it can stop momentarily when we do offenses against Vaishnavas and Guru. If you offend a Vaishnava and Guru, then for some time you can suffer. The Lord makes us forget. It's just like a punishment, because we cannot offend Vaishnava, devotees of the Lord. They're very dear to the Lord. And the one who attacks is his own attack. It goes back to him. It's very destructive, not simply in one life. It can even touch generations of people that are connected to him. So in the same way, when we do pious activities, it touches people who are connected with us. This is why Nishingadev, he said to Prahlad Maharaj that 11 generations of your family was liberated. In the same way, if we commit Vaishnava Parad, people who are connected with you, they also receive a part of the offense. It's the law of karma. You're not alone. There's interconnection between the people. There's simply mad people who react through anger by thinking that there's no world and we are a master. But when the illness comes, they're just like children in their bed. They cry. The more they're tough, the more they cry. It is a reality. This is why we must become humble. Humility is the only way to see the truth. The more you are small, the more you are humble, the more the Lord reveals Himself. It's natural. Why are we blind? Why are we far from this relationship? It is because we want to imitate the Supreme Lord.
reliance avec lui,
But as soon as we have a link, a connection with Him,
qu'est-ce qu'on réalise dans un premier
what do we realize first? That we're very small,
contrôle tout, il
that
maintient tout,
He controls everything, He maintains everything, He destroys everything.
mais par sa miséricorde,
But by His mercy,
bien qu'au début,
although at
il y
the
a
beginning
une retenue, il y a de
there's
la peur,
there's a
face à la
fear,
grandeur,
because of the greatness, Krishna is very merciful.
et suivant notre relation
And
éternelle
according
qu'on a
to
avec lui,
the eternal relationship that we have with Him,
et
then He
graduellement,
influences
cette
us
révérence
and
va diminuer,
reverence. And gradually this reverence will diminish,
elle se
decrease,
transforme,
and it will
elle se
transform.
manifeste en amour.
It will transform and manifest into love.
C'est comme une alchimie.
It's just like an alchemy.
Dans un premier temps, on perd
At first, we lose
cette mauvaise tendance d'être un
this wrong tendency of being a master,
Seigneur se révèle.
because the Lord reveals Himself.
Et graduellement,
And
cette
gradually,
relation
this relationship
avec le Créateur
with the Creator
devient
becomes
graduellement changé
gradually changed
en tant qu'un ami,
as a friend,
en tant qu'un enfant,
as a kid,
en tant qu'un amant,
as a lover,
en tant qu'un prince.
as a prince.
Ça ne peut pas se passer autrement.
It cannot be
Tout
otherwise.
est graduel.
Everything is
Tout est une
gradual.
évolution de la conscience.
Everything is an evolution of consciousness.
Mais
But
quand la conscience évolue,
when consciousness evolves,
par laquelle nous voyons toutes choses,
by which we see
par
everything,
laquelle nous comprenons toutes
by
choses,
see we understand everything,
après ça change.
then it doesn't change anymore.
On revient jamais en arrière.
We never
Jamais.
go back to what we were previously.
Si vous êtes
This is
sérieux
why if you're
dans cette
serious
pratique spirituelle,
in the spiritual practice,
vous ne pouvez pas tomber.
you cannot fall down.
Parce qu'une fois que votre conscience est transformée,
Because once your consciousness is
vous ne
transformed,
pouvez pas
you cannot
voir autrement,
see differently,
agir autrement.
act differently.
Simplement ceux qui tombent,
Simply those who fall
c'est ceux
down
qui faisaient semblant
are those who were
d'avoir la conscience transformée.
faking having transcendental
C'était des grands
consciousness.
simulateurs.
They were great
Ils étaient
cheaters,
sannyasis des
pretenders. They were
gurus,
sannyasis,
ils faisaient
gurus.
semblant,
They were
mais ils se
faking, but they fell down.
Non, ça c'est pas possible.
Otherwise, it's not possible.
Il y aura toujours de telles personnes, c'est normal.
There will always be such people. It's
Ça
normal.
fait partie du théâtre du monde matériel.
It's part of this drama of the material world.
Mais ce qu'il faut comprendre, ce
What
qui est
we need to
intéressant, c'est
understand
que
and what is
notre
interesting
relation, elle n'est pas avec ces êtres.
is that our relationship are not with these.
Même si quelqu'un a
people.
fait l'initiation,
Even if someone took initiation,
qui était derrière?
who was behind that
Krishna
initiation?
était derrière.
Krishna was always behind.
C'est lui qui nous donnait le goût.
He is the one
C'est
who
lui qui
gave.
nous donnait la réalisation.
He's the
Même si
one who
une
gave us
personne
the
avait-
taste, the one who gave us the realization, even if a
La
person
preuve,
is
c'est
not
que les gens
qualified.
qui ont été initiés
The
par
proof
ces
is that
gens-là,
people who were initiated by these people, they had taste.
et pourtant la personne est tombée.
But still, the guru fell down.
Donc c'est important d'expliquer.
So it's important to understand, to
Parce que
explain
souvent,
this,
quand les groupes
because
tombent,
often when the guru
parce qu'il n'était pas
falls
qualifié,
down,
il faisait semblant d'être qualifié,
because he was not
aussi,
qualified and he was faking being qualified, disciple falls down also,
parce qu'il n'avait pas cette compréhension.
because he didn't have this understanding.
Le service est éternel.
Service is eternal,
Parce que c'est Krishna qui
because it's Krishna who accepts that service.
c'est à travers Krishna que tout passe.
It's through Krishna that everything happens, because he is in the heart.
Et simplement parce
And
que le
simply
disciple n'a pas
because
assez
the disciple does
spirituelle,
not have enough spiritual advancement,
alors il délaisse en disant je me suis fait tricher.
he leaves saying, I was cheated.
Et à ce moment-là,
And then
c'est la chute véritable.
it is the true
Et tout ce qu'il avait fait,
true falling down. And everything he did.
c'est pas que ça ne porte pas de fruits.
It's not that there
mais
will
parce que
not be
sa
any
conscience
fruits,
n'accepte pas
but because his
qu'il ait
consciousness does not
fait. Alors,
accept,
il a même l'impression qu'il s'est fait tricher.
he even has the impression that he was cheated.
Mais pourtant, c'est pas la réalité.
But it is not the reality.
Krishna, dans sa prochaine
Krishna in
vie,
his next life, we allow him to continue.
Et c'est ça qui est beau.
And this is what is beautiful.
Peu importe ce qu'on ressent,
No matter what we feel,
on pense qu'on s'est fait tricher.
whether we think we were cheated,
Krishna nous remettra.
Krishna will put
Même
us
si
back
on a
on track.
développé même de la
Even
passion,
if we developed aversion towards Him.
Krishna,
Because
c'est
Krishna
le Seigneur de l'amour.
is the Lord of love
On doit
and
comprendre une
purity.
chose importante.
We must understand something very
C'est que le
important.
mouvement de Chaitanya
It's that
Mahaprabhu, tout le monde
the
est
movement
pur.
of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not everyone is pure,
Mais pourtant, tout le monde doit
but still everyone must advance.
C'est pourquoi tout passe
This is why everything
par le
goes
Seigneur
through,
Krishna qui est dans le cœur.
goes through the Supreme Lord Krishna who is in the heart.
Heureusement,
Oof. Fortunately, yes, it is like that.
sans ça,
Otherwise, oof,
ça serait pas beau à voir.
it will not be very
Avec
nice
tout
to
ce qui
see
se passe.
with everything that happens around.
Ce qu'il y a de plus élevé,
What is most
c'est ce qu'il y a de
elevated?
plus bas.
There is what is most elevated and what is most
On retrouve
degraded.
des choses qui sont pas belles.
So you will find things that are
Est-ce
not
que
so
Krishna
beautiful.
est touché par ces choses?
But is Krishna touched by these things?
Quand Krishna est dans le corps
When
d'un porc,
Krishna-
le porc mange des excréments, vous pensez
Krishna
que
is in the
Krishna
heart of the
mange des
of the pig. Do you think Krishna eats the excrements like the pig?
Non, il n'est pas touché.
No, he's not touched by
De
that.
la même manière,
In the
même
same way,
si dans ce mouvement
even
de Chaitanya
in the movement of
Mahaprabhu,
Chaitanya
il y a
Mahaprabhu,
tellement de
there's
tellement de tricheurs.
there's so much cheaters, so many cheaters.
Le Seigneur
The Lord
donne à chacun la possibilité d'être
gives
perfect.
everyone the
Parce qu'il n'est pas
opportunity
touché
to
par
attain
ces
perfection because Krishna is not touched
choses.
by all these
Vous
things.
pouvez tirer profit
So you
de
can-
n'importe quelle situation.
You can find
Krishna est toujours disponible.
Krishna is always
La
available.
perfection est toujours disponible.
Perfection is always available in any circumstance, and this is what we need to
Sans ça, un
understand.
moment devient complètement
Otherwise, we become completely lost
avec tout ce qui se passe,
with
tout ce
everything that happens, all this politic.
qui- Passer au-delà,
We have to go beyond this, liberate yourself, free yourself,
développer l'amour,
develop love,
le bhajan.
bhajan,
Laissez-les faire la guerre.
let them do
Ils se
war,
battent entre maths.
fight between
Eux,
mats.
ils sont pas qualifiés.
They're not qualified, these ones. We are the ones qualified. We are authentic, not them.
Ceux-là, ils sont
Let
pas-
them. These people who say that they're not authentic, they search for position.
C'est pas notre business.
It is not our business.
Notre business, c'est l'amour.
Our business is love.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much.